A motherfucker.
Fuck.
Hello. Hello, my name is Patrick. Corn dogs are my favorite food. I just spilled the shit out of my coffee. And this is Midnight Milk. Today's episode is a shorter one. This episode is on toast, but specifically, toasted sandwiches. Props. What I wanted to talk about today is the sandwiches you do toast and sandwiches you don't toast kind of thing. As well as kind of how people toast sandwiches. When it comes to toasting a normal sandwich, like a savory sandwich, you generally want to go for a hoagie or a submarine sandwich. Because with a hoagie or submarine sandwich, you have a larger proportion of bread. That way you can lightly toast the outside to have a crunch, while the inner portion of the bread might still be soft. But there's different ways to do this. When you are making a toasted sandwich, you can either toast the bread first and then put on everything, or toast the bread with some portion of the sandwich on there, or all the sandwich depending on what kind of sandwich it is. Best examples of this are if someone wanted a more veggie-based sandwich, perhaps. You might be able to toast the bread first, put the veggies on there, and they can have that. That way they have a little bit of cold and hot, crunchy and soft. Well, I'm not really sure what's soft in there aside from the inside of the bread, but most vegetables you put on a sandwich tend to have a crunch to them because it's a nice textural difference from the softer meats. But when it's more vegetable-based, I'm not really certain where you're going there. To be honest, I've never had a vegetable-based sandwich. If I had a vegetarian sandwich, there's usually tofu in it. Because tofu's delicious. Sidetrack. The point is, this isn't as good for a meat-based sandwich because then the meat is cold and the bun is hot. It's kind of weird because usually when you want to toast a sandwich with meat on it, or especially usually meat and cheese, you want that cheese melted and the meat hot. If the meat's cold and the cheese is unmelted but the toast is toasted, the bread is toasted, what's the point? I got crunchy bread, cool, but like it becomes a very strange temper differential. The second way is the way I was just describing, which is putting the meat and the cheese, and usually sauce, mayonnaise particularly, it tends to be a good way to do it, if not butter or something along those lines, to get a kind of fatty component in the sandwich for more complexity of flavor. And you toast that with the meat and the cheese on top to melt the cheese, cook them, and heat or cook the meat. This makes sense because then afterwards you can add your cold vegetables, which add a cool crisp to your warm, cheesy sandwich. The best sandwich I've ever had is in a place in Michigan called Subs and More. They made me a turkey club sandwich, which was toasted with a bread that was made from, I believe, pizza dough. So it's turkey and cheese and mayonnaise and bacon. And then they sprinkled some lovely crunchy lettuce on there. And that shit was delicious. Best shit I've ever eaten in my life. I thought there's some on the table. But yeah, there's something to be said to the importance of toasting a sandwich to get that perfect crunch and softness in the bread, a little bit warmer on the meat, and a nice melty cheese. Now the third way is what you usually don't want to do. The middle is the best. Toast some parts of the sandwich, not all of it. You don't want to toast your sandwich with a majority of vegetables on it. There are some small things where some people are iffy on this. For example, if you've ever had a Cuban sandwich with the sweet and sour pickle on there. It's a sweeter type of pickle, and you cook the sandwich with the pickle inside. You toast it on a flat top or in your pan. pickles do get hot and the sandwich is very good. But, of course, there's going to be outliers. Usually pickled vegetables are a bit more fine with the cooking process because the pickling makes them a bit softer while still firm, so that when they're cooked, they don't lose too much of their firmness, if that makes any sense. But things like lettuce or cabbage will wilt or soften, and it becomes a strange texture when you've toasted them on a sandwich. You usually want to put them on after the toasting process. If you're toasting your sandwich in its entirety, vegetables and all, it's not going to be as good. You want those vegetables cold and you want that sandwich hot. Yeah, this was kind of a stupid episode. It's talking about toasted sandwiches, but I don't know. I think people should toast more sandwiches, honestly. I think oftentimes people bring sandwiches to picnics and they'll be untoasted cold ham and cold cheese, and it's like, why the fuck would you do that? Like, if you're going to bring a sandwich to a picnic, bring something nice. Like, you can toast it before you leave, and it should still be warm by the time you get there, unless you're putting it in your cooler, which, if you're bringing hot things to a picnic, you don't put it in a fucking cooler because it's hot. But yeah, don't toast more sandwiches is my point. Toast your fucking sandwiches. It's way better than it is cold. And try this. Fucking toast half your peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It's a good texture differential. Use your toaster oven if you have it. Toaster ovens are fucking awesome. Toaster ovens are the best. They're the best for toasting your meats and cheeses with your breads. Just be careful not to fucking burn anything. When you're toasting things like sandwiches in a toaster oven, I generally suggest setting it to like 350 degrees instead of like 450 like most toaster ovens are, because 450 can cook the shit out of that bread real quick before it cooks your meat, before it heats your meat too much. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Toast your fucking sandwiches. And, I'll see you next week. This is my breakfast, by the way. No, it took 2 hours setting this shit up. It was lazy. And both my coffee and the sandwich are very cold. I'm hungry. It's like 11 o'clock. Fuck it. Still morning. I hope I edited it out. But, at some point during this recording, that fucking computer went to sleep. It's running Audacity right now to record me on that fucking microphone. But it went the fuck to sleep. So my image of fucking bread and toast just fucking disappeared all of a sudden in the middle of my recording. Because it's hot. Oh, goddamn. Stop it. Computer went to sleep. Fucking piece of shit. I don't know when it disappeared. It says like a 10-minute sleeper timer, which I kind of want to turn off at this point, but I don't know how long I've been recording. I don't know when it would have turned off, so I have to look at the video again, figure that out, edit that out, and I hope to God I didn't edit out. I don't have to edit out anything fucking important. Either that or you guys will see the fucking stupid ass monitor turn off. I'm the most professional fucking video creator ever. I'm gonna go eat some corn dogs. Corn dogs are my favorite food. I haven't had one in a long fucking time, and I really want to get one. So I'm gonna put on a mask and some fucking gloves, and I'm gonna go get a corn dog. Yeah, fuck it.